Oh my god. Guys, I'm making myself laugh right now. Okay, because I'm standing here in the window. I'm completely naked. I'm standing to show you what the window looks like. And I'm standing here thinking, who the heck? Where are all these people? Where, like, why are there so many cars in this parking lot? And then I realized I'm standing at the window. I'm standing up here with my birthday suit. I'm like, someone could probably see. So let me just back up a little bit. I'm going to pull my camera up close to the window so you can't see the schmutz on the window. But there is the state. Yeah, now you can't get it out of your head, can you? There is a state capitol, I believe. I might walk up that way. I'm not quite sure. There's a very large sort of terraced hill mountain kind of thing over there. A parking lot absolutely jam-packed with people. I have no idea where they could possibly be. And it's probably in the 60s outside right now. So I'm going to put some clothes on. Let's do that. Ugh. All right. I'm awake. I put clothes on just for you and for those people out there, and so I don't get arrested in Salt Lake City. That would not be good. I just have to brush my hair, and then I'm going to go to a museum. There's two that I'm thinking of going to. I haven't quite decided which one. Whoever's closer, I'll go. And then I'll take a little bit of a walkabout. I want to eat something because I am hungry, as usual. Let's see. Outfit of the day. I'm wearing this shirt. I think it's polo. I'm not quite sure who makes this shirt, but I really like it a lot. It's a surprisingly heavy material. It almost feels like silk. I'm going to take it off and see who makes the shirts, so I can tell you. And I'm wearing the ubiquitous navy shorts, and I'm wearing those polo sneakers again, because they go with everything, and they do feel seasonal with the Harris tweed. All right, blah, 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 blah. Let me leave. I'll see you soon. Yes, indeed, it is polo. It looks like polo, doesn't it? It's linen and silk, almost equal amounts. It's a beautiful fabric. I wish I could find more of these shirts. I mean, it just feels so nice. The ubiquitous navy shorts. And yes, I've used the word ubiquitous twice in common conversation. How strange is that? But, and I'm wearing, of course, the polo sneakers that I am apparently addicted to. Yes, I have good legs. I do. I've been told frequently I have good legs. I have good knees, which is very important. All right, let's get out of the room. It's pretty architecture. Lovely. And apparently this one that's over here, apparently it's like the big fancy famous one. It's covered in scaffolding. So I don't know if I can see much over there, but yeah, interesting architecture. Nordstrom. I wonder if they have a cafe. Apparently the light rail is extensive down here. It passes by my hotel, my window, and every time it goes by, it sounds like someone's dragging a garbage pail across the window. But I'm in Temple Square. The art museum apparently is that way. Maurice Abravanel something hall ticket office. I just saw a sign for the Sweeney Todd is playing here, and it's supposed to be playing. It's playing every night except for the night that I'm here. That would have been a lot of fun. All right, let's find a museum. I just walked by and saw Deseret News. It's free. Senator Mitt Romney has 5 warnings for America. I'm dying to know what Mitt Romney has to say about the future of America. If you're from Massachusetts, you might have we have a history with Mitt. Not a fabulous one, but he's one of the more sensible people on that side of the aisle, I hate to say. But yeah, I'll grab a copy of that later and read it. I think I found the museum. Right here. And for some reason, nothing seems to open until like 11 o'clock. I don't know why. I think I found a visitor's information center. It's just a few steps away from the museum. I'm going to check it out, see what they have in here. I see rainbow flags, which is confusing me right now. Like, I did not expect to see, unless this isn't what I think it is, and what you probably think it is. Maybe it's just a rainbow, right? I don't know. It is Pride. It's a gay Pride rainbow bird. I didn't know we had a rainbow bird. Okay. It's the gay bird. Didn't know. But nice to see you in Salt Lake City, I guess. Guys, look. If you know, you know. $45. Do you remember what I paid for those other butterflies? Yeah. That's why I was so excited about them. And these are all ragged. I'm still in the gift shop because I have to wait till 11 for the museum to open. But I see a lot of honey-themed items here. And I just saw inside here that says the Beehive State. Is that what this is? Interesting. All right, so I'm going to go to the museum. I think it's going to be open in a few minutes. The young lady working at the information center was very busy with another family, and I was dying to ask her a couple questions. Well, first, oh, look, right there. Look at the pride flag right there. I'm like, I totally thought that the LGBT community was not terribly welcome in this area, and so I'm dying to know why that's all there. Plus, the bee state, the Beehive State. How could you not like a state that's called the Beehive State? Bees are amazing. How could you not love bees? And there's some pretty cool looking sort of hipster people wandering around out here, probably waiting for the museum to open. So let's get this day started. And someone out there right now is typing furiously. Why does he keep pushing all that gay stuff down my throat? That's a different video. I'm not. This is just who I am, right? So, enjoy. All right. So, it's a donation-based admission fee with a recommendation of $10. But if you don't have $10, it totally seemed okay if you were to walk in and not pay. So, very nice. James Talbot, I spent the last year learning to love green. Who doesn't love green? It's the perfect neutral. Okay. I felt a spider on me, and I crunched it under my foot. Okay, I think this is not for me. Let's continue on. Maybe there's a more happy color somewhere. By the way, this is the Contemporary Art Museum here in Salt Lake City, and I am the first person here, so I feel like I can talk out loud. Yeah, pretty standard fare for contemporary art. Interesting. This one I feel like I identify with more. That's me on fire. Look, this person's on fire. Obviously, all sorts of drama and trauma happening, but look what's in their hand. A match, a burning match. They did this to themselves, which totally makes me think, yes, this could be a self-portrait. One of my superhero skills is self-sabotage. I was just watching a YouTube channel. I have to get his name. Something Thornton. Something Thornton. He's a comedian, and he's going to be an author, and he's apparently fairly successful in the comedic world. And I'm watching one of his videos by chance, and I'm just listening, and I'm nodding, and I'm thinking, yeah, I think he sounds like me, and I sound like him. Am I funny? He's a comedian. I don't know. What's going on here? Oh. So there she's swallowing fire. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Interesting. Let's move on. Oh, good. There's more work down here. I was feeling a little underwhelmed, except for that self-sabotage piece. I think the entrance is down there. Stainless steel stairs. I'm always interested in the architectural decisions that museums make in terms of the conveyance from area to area, be it stairs, escalators, elevators, glass elevators. I'm always interested in terms of the materials and the structure in which they have you move from space to space. Like in this case, stainless steel stairs, where some other museums are made of bent blonde wood of some sort. You know, I'm always interested in how they get us from point A to point B in a museum. I doubt anyone else has ever uttered that sentence in history. I'm very strange. All right, let's go. someone's calendar. Okay. I do struggle occasionally with contemporary art. Let's hope I don't struggle too much today. Okay. I don't think this comes across as being as large as it really is in person. I'll sit and watch for a few minutes and then see if I can read some sort of blurb. All right, I'm going to warn you now. This is going to be very tedious because I'm going to read this whole thing. But there's a bunch of sheets of handmade paper here with this pretty sort of cerulean ink. And you'll just see the motions and the movements on each page. Some are very simple, some are more complicated, all right? And so they range, more repetitive here. So, all right, so settle in because I'm going to read this and it's going to take a minute. Leah Moses, OMS fetal movements, 7th gestational month, April 2nd, 2006, 4:55 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. On April 2nd, I stood in my studio. I guess the name of her child, kicked again, pushing the entire top surface of my stomach, wrote artist Leah Moses, describing the origin of the project. I felt the anxiety return, that feeling it would all end tomorrow and I'd never feel this again. Never watch the acrobatic show from above while feeling him flip and roll to reposition himself beneath the layer of my skin. Oh my God, right? I can't imagine what it's like to be a woman with a baby growing, gestating inside of her and feeling and watching her body literally be moved from within. I just can't even believe it. All right. Unchoreographed and unrehearsed, I started to follow his movements with ink, projecting left to right, down, right to left, and back again, pressing out more the harder the bumps and pressing out more for the harder bumps and curving lightly around the larger graceful tumbles, pulling sheet after sheet. He went on for another 35 minutes, and by the time we were done, we had 20 drawings made together. Oh my God, she and her unborn child created artwork. Putting the movement into context, she said, movements happen, fade, cease, and then disappear. We cannot bring them back, relive them, or keep them bottled up in a jar. We can face this reality with courage or turn away with anxiety. We often vacillate between the two from 1 minute to the next. Is your mind not blown? I mean, was that a waste of your time? I hope not, because my brain is sizzling. Come on. Can you imagine the movement that her child made in her belly to make her go from this light undulating line to this big fabulous thing with pressure coming in and out? Oh my God. Guys, losing my shit right here. Losing my shit. Okay, wow. All right, so here I'm looking at what look like fuse boxes and other sort of electrical elements from around the home. Lighting fixtures here and here and here. What else do I see? Just lots of like stuff like telephones, intercom systems, all made out of polyester fabric, as I've come to read. Even the wording is here. It's all sculpture made out of polyester fabric. And then I read, I don't know how to pronounce the artist's name, Do Hon Soo. I have no idea. But it's called Intercoms, London Homes and Studio, New York Home, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm reading down here. Artist, I can't pronounce his name, is best known for his fabric sculptures that reconstruct to scale his former homes in Korea, Rhode Island, Providence, by the way, Berlin, London, and New York. Now, I find this very amusing because I was born in Rhode Island, in Pawtucket, and to see it nestled amongst Korea, Berlin, London, and New York, I find that to be a little amusing. Within the work is an obsessive index, as if listing everything will help one remember it and preserve the exact feeling of the home, which makes me think of that last piece we just looked at with the woman who is sort of journaling her child's movement within her body. Am I making this up? Do you see a correlation here? Especially so if one holds on to seemingly inconsequential details. A catalog of too much information may create the illusion of possession or preservation. Listen to that again. Especially so, if one holds on to seemingly inconsequential details, a catalog of too much information may create the illusion of possession or preservation. My mind is absolutely sizzling. I've only been here 15 minutes. The artifacts ultimately read as ghostly remnants of a life once lived in a particular place and time. Guys, my brain. Maybe I'm making things up, but I can totally see a correlation between these two artists. Craziness. My mind is blown. Contemporary art. Wow. I know I'm probably reaching for connections there, but I was feeling it. This is all made of craft paper, I think. Yeah, this is all made of cardboard. It sort of looks like an office or a workshop. There's nothing really identifiable as being any particular type of object, but just by the way it's all positioned and spaced is interesting. And then you read the blurb. Okay, of course, this is going to be tedious. I'm going to be reading to you again. Dahlia Sanabria's, use of cardboard as a medium came from a fixation on a very disposable material that serves as a vessel for storage and collected belonging, and an interest in letting the material carry the residue of past narrative and its own history. Sanabria's memories of belonging in boxes and storage come from her father's sudden deportation to Colombia when the artist was 12 years old. The event resulted in the subsequent displacement and exile of her whole family. Her work architecturally rebuilds the collective objects of her childhood home based on her mother's meticulous archive and listed records. But there is a rupture during moves, and when time, memory, laws, and geography cause displaced, there is an inability to truly return home. Wow. Yeah, I know it's tedious. I'm sorry listening to me read because I'm not really talented in terms of oration, but wow, really. So here I sit thinking about you again, thinking about all the beauty I see in you and wanting so badly to be near you. Our time apart seems so long and I'm starting to forget what you look like. Oh my God. My heart. What's going on here? Can't play file. Okay. Oh. I see something shifting here, like kind of a very uninteresting kaleidoscope. Huh. With family photos. Okay. I don't see a blurb to recognize what's going on here. All right. Let's continue on. This is huge. This piece is probably, I'd say 10 feet tall from top to bottom. And you'll see these movements of, what looks like granules in the water. So the artist here at the very top, you might see in a moment, is pulling sheets of paper that have a Spanish translation of George Orwell's 1984 in Spanish. But the words are placed on this paper as he submerges it. The words lift from the page, which is really wild. More blurbs. The words floating off the page are from the Spanish translation of George Orwell's dystopian novel 1984, a novel that focuses on the ominous future controlled by Big Brother, where workers of the Ministry of Truth, if you've not read the book, delete contradictory histories and redundant words from the dictionary. I mean, and if you're not seeing stuff like that happening now in the world, it just seems really poignant. And the fact that this piece was made in 2014, I mean, that was even before some stuff started getting real weird. But, wow. Look at this. It looks like a textile. It's inspired by 19th century clothing styles. But if you look a little closer, it's all made up of pins. Those are the pin heads. And you can see the pins themselves. And look at the inside. Can you see? What a nightmare garment. Could you imagine putting this on? Wow. That's wild. This piece, if you can see, done in 1966 by Rene Magritte. The etching depicts a man with a shattered mind, which is how I feel after this museum, exploding in multiple directions. For Dr. A psychoanalyst who inherited this piece from her father, who was a friend of Magritte, the work captures a deeply traumatized person whose memories lead to a kind of rupture of the self and shattering of the brain. Beyond compartmentalizing, it is a physical split caused by the weight of past experiences. Craziness. But you know, I'm reading that and I'm looking at the image and I'm thinking of like it leads to a kind of rupture of the self and shattering of the brain. Beyond compartmentalizing, I can't say it, is a physical split caused by the weight of past experiences. Now that sounds really traumatic and that sounds really like, just like the destruction of somebody's psyche and spirit. But to me, as I read that, I think, well, yeah, we all have to be broken down before we can put ourselves back together again. Like, I'm looking at that picture thinking, yeah, I identify with that. My mind has been shattered and broken and just lots of sharp, ragged, bleeding edges. But with time and a little work, I've put those pieces back together again to be who I am today. And I think that's fabulous. I really think I'm like, all right, so I do have a tender ego, and sometimes I think very little of myself, but sometimes I'm reminded by pieces like that. I am amazing. I'm amazing. And so are you, right? Because we've all been broken and put back together again and reforged into this new work of art, contemporary art. We are all contemporary art. Isn't that wild? I love my life. The thing I don't love is I think this is it for the museum. I think that's it. But it was just enough. It was just enough. This feels like a chef's tasting of contemporary art. So a handful of curated pieces that really were spectacular. So yay, $10 well spent. All right, the people who work at this museum were just as mind-blowing as the art in the museum. So I was just talking to this woman who had the most amazing personal style. Oh, I meant to ask her where she got her glasses. Hold on one sec. No, she moves fast. I couldn't find her. All right, so I just walked in there and again, my mind was blown. I hope you weren't too bored or I wasn't too tedious in reading all that stuff. But the two ladies that were working at the front desk there, I stopped and I said, hey, question for you. I saw in the visitor center and then here at the museum sort of evidence of support from the LGBT community. Yeah, I know, more gay stuff, sorry. And she says, yeah, Salt Lake City is very friendly, very welcoming. It's just that there is a shadow that the religious aspect of the city casts. And so people really don't think that Salt Lake City is as welcoming and friendly as it is, and open to different types of people. Now, I would think that being a Mormon which is sort of controversial compared to other religions, especially based on Christianity, that they would understand what it's like to be the, you know, the odd one out, and maybe feel more welcoming to those people who are more different, you know, I don't know. But so she really kind of blew my mind there. And then apparently I asked the younger of the two, Beehive State. Why Beehive State? Is there a reason behind the state's sort of name? And she goes, you know, I don't know. And the other lady didn't know. And the younger one said, well, you know, it may be that it's a tight, small community of very industrious, hardworking people. And that's how, you know, just seeing how they work around the scaffolding and the planters and all the people working around the city, I'm like, oh, that totally makes sense. A tight-knit community where they all support each other and depend on one another and are very industrious and busy and working very hard. And I thought, of course, that's a perfect reason to be called the Beehive State. That's amazing. I am feeling completely energized. I almost feel caffeinated, but it also might be the fact that I'm like deliriously hungry. So I'm gonna try and find some food. There's something called the Gateway around here, which is like an outdoor sort of mall or something. So I'm gonna try and find that. All right, something I hadn't noticed until just now is the lack of visible homeless people. There's one gentleman on that bench right there who was very kind and noticed that I was lost and gave me directions to where I want to go. He offered to take me where I'm going. I said, no, thank you. But that's something I'm just noticing now. By seeing him, I recognize a lack of other homeless people. In any other city I've been to, there'd be people all over the streets. So I wonder if that's something Salt Lake City has worked on successfully, or if that says something about their community and how they take care of each other. Don't know. There's Nordstrom. They have to have a cafe. I am staggeringly hungry. I literally was staggering for a moment. They've got to have a cafe in here. So I don't have time to find the Gateway and a cute little cafe. I need to come in to eat something here. When did I become the person who thinks, oh, I'm hungry, let's go to Nordstrom? When did I become that person who also shops at Goodwill? I don't know. I'm a very strange person. Oh, it smells nice in here. All right, I found it's the Nordstrom Grill. I don't remember it being the Nordstrom Grill, but it's been a very long time since I've eaten at Nordstrom. They do have a cafe somewhere, I think. But there's an entrance to like an outdoor mall here. I'll find something there. The macaroni and cheese was $22 there at Nordstrom. No, there's a mall here. Undoubtedly something over here. All I need is a little coffee and maybe a little nibble. I don't need to sit down and have a whole meal. All right, so what does it say about me that when I pass all the stores in this mall that I walk into Anthropology? What does that say about me? And why do I think that this glass, which has a sequined tree inside the glass, is equally stupid as it is amazing? Crazy. And then at the same time, I want to be the person who sees the title of this book and thinks, oh my God, I need that book. Like, the cheese plate that will change your life. I want to be that person with those problems. I've never understood my affection for Anthropology. The merchandise is cheap and it looks like it's quality until you really touch it. But yeah, sorry, there's my editorial on Anthropology. I'm much happier at Goodwill, but that glass did attract me. I need to eat, obviously. It's a great looking mall. Look at this little fake stream. Oh, Lush! I love Lush. I really can't take many of their products on the go with me, but I used to love their shampoo bar. I love Lush. Just walking through there makes me happy. All right, food. I saw a sign for a food court. This place is enormous. I was way down there at Nordstrom, and I've come through here, followed the river, and there's a whole wetlands over here. There's a Johnny Rockets, there's a cheesecake factory, food court over there, so I'll grab some food. But yeah, this place is massive. All right, I found a food court, It's a food court of places I've never heard of before. The Taste of a Red Iguana, Bocata, Zimbo, Sparrow. I've heard of that. I'll avoid it entirely. Chick-fil-A, can't eat that. Uncle Sharky's, Popeyes, not a fan. All right, so it is 12:15. I grabbed some Greek food, some chicken souvlaki, lemon rice, a salad, pita, a little Coke Zero. It's very good. I'm glad I went with the Greek and not the other option is McDonald's, because everything else is like the Great Steak, Osaka, Chick-fil-A. So it was either McDonald's or this Greek place. I made the better choice. Delicious and destroyed. Oh, there's koi. There's 2 white ones. And I don't think you can see the gray. There's one, I don't know, 6 or 8 koi right here. That's fun. Macy's is over there. It looks like Christmas is starting to pop up in the storefronts. I love this little mall. So doing a search for Walgreens or a CVS or something, there's nothing around here where I can just buy a little something sweet. And I found this little candy shop, and they have some sodas that I'm literally tempted on trying. There's buffalo wing soda, coffee soda, which I could imagine liking. Enchilada sauce, black olive soda. Yeah, and the guy who works here says that's exactly what it's supposed to taste like. I think I'm going to skip these, mostly because I don't have a bottle opener. That's the reason I'm going to skip them completely. Bacon soda. Yeah, I don't have a bottle opener, so I'll skip that. I bought some Necco wafers at that shop. If you've never had a Necco wafer, imagine a small disc of chalk that's been compressed to the point where it's almost a diamond, that's subtly flavored by incredibly artificial flavors, and then pastel colored with other clearly artificial colors, and that they're just so brittle and hard at the same time that if you bite it the wrong way, you might cut the inside of your cheek. I mean, it's incredibly pleasant to eat. And my childhood was flavored by Necco wafers. In fact, if you pass through a particular part of Cambridge, you could smell it because they used to be made in Cambridge, and where I used to live near Central Square in Cambridge. Yummy. Now I'm going to go into Nieder's Bakery to grab a pastry or something to nibble on tomorrow morning. I have a protein drink, but I'm going to want something solid just for breakfast. We have a 2-hour sit in Vegas late tomorrow morning, so I'll grab lunch there, but I want to have a little something for tomorrow morning. The croissants look promising. Muffin tops. Those look like they're from Costco. No, I'm going to skip those. Those ginger, oh, they're ginger zombies. I may have to get one of those. Oh, look at this. Well, that was an experience. Meters. It's kind of like a knockoff of Panera, but not quite as nice. I did get a croissant for tomorrow morning, and this poor young lady, she's in a wheelchair, and I guess her mom accidentally spilled over her soda, big giant cup of soda and ice, and knocked it over. It all goes spilling all over the table, all over her skirt, all over the floor. And you know, it's the flight attendant in me just runs over to the beverage counter, grabs 2 big handfuls of napkins and sprints over to here. It's like if you're on board and a passenger spills a drink, you just jump into action. You know, it's the same sort of thing. When I was in New York City, this is probably 6 years ago, maybe 7, I was walking through Hell's Kitchen, and there was this sort of outdoor cafe restaurant sort of thing, and this woman was clearly, she just had turned to the side, and there was this cup she had in her hand that I could see clearly was empty, because that's a superhero skill you develop as a flight attendant. You can recognize someone holding an empty cup, because usually the thing that follows the empty cup is the call bell to have have you take that empty cup away. But I turned and I was like, instinctively, my arm reached out almost to take the empty cup to throw it away. I was just walking by. She was having lunch. It's like when you're a flight attendant, these reflexes. If you hear a bell, clink, your whole body, it's like Pavlov's dog or Pavlov's whatever it was. But yeah, that was my... I have stories about everything. All right, let's go back to the hotel. Lounge, relax. It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Play some video games. Maybe have my soup later on for dinner, and then contemplate a nice early bedtime. My van time is at 7 a.m., which is not bad. That's actually very good. So yeah, that'll be the rest of the day, I think. So if anything's interesting, well, I'll stop by and say goodbye to you before the day's over. So I will see you later. I think I'm walking in the right direction. Yes. Oh, by the way, I do believe that is the state capitol up there, but it's way too high up there, and I'm just not in the mood for a hike. So, back to the hotel room. See you later on. No, I'm not being murdered. Oh my God, just a big stretch after an unintended nap. Oh my gosh. So, I did not mean to take a full nap, but I've been asleep for, an hour and a half. I meant to lay down for like 15 minutes and just close my eyes for a bit, but here I am in this absolutely sumptuous, this comforter, this duvet, whatever it is. I'm like lying under marshmallow. It's beautiful. And there's no kitty litter in my bed. It's nice. Today has been very, very nice. It is, let's see, what time is it? Hold on, let me get my watch on. 3:43. I've got just over 11,000 steps for the day. So not too bad, not too bad. I guess I'm just planning on getting out of bed so I can sleep later on tonight. I'll play a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3. I don't think there's anything I can do about my schedule next month for a few more days, so I'll have to wait for that. But yeah, I'm just going to play some video games, go to bed a little bit early. I've got some soup I'll heat up later on. There's a microwave here in the room, so that'll be the end of this day. Tomorrow, I have a croissant from that awful little bakery place, protein drink. I'll have that for breakfast. We have a 7 o'clock a.m. shuttle. Tomorrow's going to be kind of a long day. It's 3 short legs, which shouldn't make a long day, but we've got 1 leg to Vegas, a 2-hour and 15-minute sit, bang. And then we have a turn from somewhere, I don't know, Burbank or somewhere like that. I should get home to Las Vegas by about 6:30 tomorrow night. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let me get out of bed and play some video games, have some soup, and that's it. That's my day. Thank you for joining me. I know I've been all over the place today, but it's been fun. It's been a great layover. I've got another long layover, same trip really, at the end of the month. So I get to do this again, and maybe the weather will be a little bit cooler. Maybe it'll be a little bit different. And I'm kind of hoping there's like their performance center for operas and theater and things are right around the corner from the hotel. So I'm kind of hoping when I'm here next I can see a show if it's reasonably priced. I really did want to see Sweeney Todd, but for some reason it's not being performed this evening. But there we go. So I will see you tomorrow in happy Vlogtober. What day is today? Oh my God, I can't even think. It is, I think, the 15th. Yes. All right. Happy Vlogtober, day 15. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Fly safe. Fly safe. Bye. I can't talk.